Welcome back, everybody. This is Tyler video for you, and today we're going to be doing a monitor over. This is the chassis out of the G07. It's Electrohome G07 that was in my Galaxian over last week, 2 weekends ago, I guess. The monitor started smoking on me, and if you see right in here, back in here, right here, this is the Flyback. This provides a high voltage to tube. There's a big burn spot. Now let me see if I can get in there with this lens. Let's see here. Can we see it? Well, I'll show you when I actually take this out, but there's a big hole in the side of the Flyback there. Additionally, I noticed this on this board is, if you're looking here, in this area right here, it's all blackened. And I don't know if that's just regular, just because this monitor was made in 1980, and it's just a lot of grease deposited there. But there might be something else burned out there, I'm not sure. But I bought for this a new Flyback, and essentially it's a deluxe Flyback kit, which comes with a cap kit, the hot and the voltage regulator there and there, and a new width coil, although this probably does not need, oh, it needs it. Yeah, right there, definitely needs a new width coil. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is something that some people do, and I like to do it before I work on any monitor because look at my hands already. I hate soldering with a greasy, dirty monitor, so I got it in my sink right here. This is just a basement, you know, like a laundry sink. Hold on a second here while I get my, there we go. So now I'm just spraying it down with some Simple Green. I've got it in a Grease Lightning bottle, but it's actually Simple Green. And this works pretty well for cleaning up a dirty chassis. I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad I ordered that width coil, because I hadn't even pulled the monitor before. I just looked in there, I could see that the Flyback was burned up. And I bought everything that Bob Roberts sells for this monitor, because I don't know about you, but I hate when you buy parts for something to fix something, and it turns out that something else is broken too. So it's always just best to, I mean, it's not best, it's always easier to order everything at once. And the cost really was not that much more to get the few extra parts. It was like $27 for the, I forget what it was. It was like $27, ended up being $40, so another $13 for every single part versus just getting the Flyback. I already had a cap kit for this, and but it was cheaper to get it with the cap kit again. So now I have a spare G07 cap kit. I have three G07 cap kits and 2 G07 monitors, so probably never use it, but or maybe I will. I don't know. You never know what will happen in the future. Okay, so now it's a lot of Simple Green on there, and then I take I just have like this is like just like a brush for like sweeping up dirt and stuff. That has nice soft bristles on it. I'm gonna probably move this camera a little bit, just so it's easier for me to do this. I'll move you guys over the side. It's a little tight. So I'm just going to get the brush in there. It's kind of hard on this monitor to do it. Chassis has a lot of little shielding parts and stuff like that. But for the most part, you just got to get in there a little bit. Get as much as I can out. Probably with this one, just a regular paintbrush would work well. Hold on. I think I have one over here somewhere. It's gonna work better. Never really needed to use a paintbrush on any chassis before. This chassis is significantly different in its just its clearances, so this will work better. I didn't think about it, but I should have taken this out of the holder before I did this, but it's alright. Actually, I'd have to do a lot of work, so this is fine, because there's other parts that are dirty. This really isn't dirty in here, but I'm just going to do it anyways. Try to get underneath that as much as I can. I know a lot of people complain about how difficult it is to do a cap kit in one of these monitors. This is the first time I've ever done a G07, so the only ones I've done before have been K7000s and Sanyos that are inside Nintendo cabinets. I have K4600 and K4900s that I need to do, and those aren't going to be difficult at all. They're really easy to get into. This definitely does look like it's going to be just a lot of work to get in there and just change the parts. Well, not that it's impossible, but you guys got to do a lot of little work to get in there. Oh, I spent so much time cleaning this part here because this is... Actually, I think I'm going to have to use it. No. But whatever. I'll clean it. Alright. Just time to rinse it off. Okay, so now it is as clean as it's going to get right now. It's as clean as it's going to get, but you still, let's see here, I gotta aim this up a little bit better. Still a little dark in this area here. There's still stuff that's, I can't really tell what that is, but it's, it shouldn't affect me doing any of the work on this. But I got the majority of the dirt and grime off this chassis. So the next step is to dry it off. And you've seen in some of my previous videos, I use a gigantic squirrel cage fan to do that. In this case, I probably don't even need to really dry it off right now because I'm going to be soldering. I could probably, and I'm not going to be able to finish this even right away, but I'm going to put the fan on it anyways for a while. But I probably could get away with just I could probably start working on it and then put the caps on, and then after I was done drying it off, but it's probably better to just dry it off immediately afterwards. Alright, that's it for now. And I'll have more. I'll be back in a bit with more. See here? Okay, guys, as I said before, I've not done a G07 before monitor, but just to show you what my plans are here, the first thing I'm going to do is take this Flyback out. This is the one that's got the hole in it, and I'll show you that once I get it out. My desoldering iron's warming up right now. Let's see if it's hot enough. Just turned it on, so it might not even be close. Oh, here's a good case. Yeah, so this actually, I don't know if you remember one of my previous videos, I was talking about how you can see the tip on this iron right here is pretty small. I have an older iron here that's not particularly good for doing like caps and stuff like that, but you see the hole is much larger on the tip now because it's been used and worn, and this will work pretty nicely for these larger pins for the Flyback. But still, it's not even close to being hot enough to do this. So, I have to let that sit a little while longer. But here's the replacement Flyback for it that I got from Bob Roberts. As part of this kit, while we're waiting for this to heat up, I'll show you this. As part of this kit, I got the Flyback. And one of the interesting things about this Flyback on G07 is it does not have the screen and focused pots built into it. Like if you look at a different Flyback here, I've got a couple here actually. This one's for a Neotech monitor, and you see it's got the two pots built right into the Flyback. And then here is a K74, K7500 Flyback here. You see that this one here, again, has the pots built right into the Flyback. So, alright. So besides the Flyback, additionally I got a couple other parts. There's the cap kit here, which includes the voltage regulator and the hot, as well as I got a replacement horizontal width coil. And that's in here. This is all wrapped up nice and neatly. You can see it right there now. And which is a good thing. I wasn't sure I was going to need it at all, and it doesn't really. I wouldn't have to use it. I mean, if I don't, because it seems to be working fine without it. I mean, it was when it was working. But let's get this camera in here. Okay. So you'll see right here, this width coil, the base is broken right off, and it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be held in place. It'll work like this because the whole coil itself is isolated, but really it should be one piece like this. So I'm going to replace that as well. And what I've opted to do on this is it's got a metal frame that it sits on, and I'm going to try to do this whole cap kit without removing it from the metal frame, because that'll be a real pain, because there's a bunch of wires that are connected, and I think it'll be a lot easier to do it this way. So let's see if my iron is hot enough yet. Uh-oh. So Bob Roberts said, don't use the kickstand. I just broke the horizontal width coil a little bit more. Oh, wait a minute. Are these even plugged in? That's the question to ask here. No. That explains why it's not hot. Is this one plugged in? Oh. This one is plugged in though. Plug in the other one. Alright. So. Yeah, it's hot. Let's see if we can do anything with this one. This one's just too narrow of a hole to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video now. Okay, so my older iron is now hot enough to do this. I already sucked some of the solder off of this one right here. I'm just going to do it a second time. Still pretty big leads on this, so even this desoldering iron is has a hard time sucking up the solder. Look at that. Just want to show you this, guys, before I continue. And this might have been one of the reasons that this flyback actually went bad. We're getting close to this one solder joint so you can see. It's a great example of here's number 5, right there. Can you guys see it? The solder joint is actually busted off right there. There's really nothing there to this solder joint right here. It's a bad solder joint, so I don't know how well you can see it in that with the camera, but move on now. Now, one thing I see here is pretty nice is that the pins are all numbered, so I know which ones should be the ones I need to desolder for the flyback on this one. Although on other chassis I've done, like on a Sanyo, it's pretty obvious in a K7000 as well. I mean, they're not as tight as this chassis seems to be. So that should be everything there. The question is, can we wiggle it out now? Seems to be doing that pretty good still. Maybe pushing the pins out some. There we go. That one's pushed a little bit. I'm not using my soldering iron for this because I don't want to damage my... This is my old desoldering iron, so I'm not too concerned about it. But this is a great way, you know, pushing is a great way to ruin your soldering iron, so... I don't even know if this is in focus for you guys. That was loose. going to look at the bottom of this one. Yeah, it looks like I got all the pins that are holding this on. That pin looks like it's pretty loose. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a better time doing this without the camera here, so I'm going to stop for now. Little note to self here, when you're taking a flyback off, always check for screws holding it down. Right here there's 2 screws holding it in. You see it's much looser now, so yeah, this is, boom, pops right out. So there's the flyback out, and slip this little boot off here. Okay, so now this is hard to show you this, but let's see if I can do it. Okay, so here's the old flyback, and there's this wire on the bottom that comes out and goes up through and connects to the let's see here, is that the focus? Yeah, it's the focus pot here at the top. And so what we want to do is we want to, because we have to use this over, so we're going to desolder this as well. And to be honest with you, we're just going to use the soldering iron for this because it's going to be fairly easy to do. I guess wrap through the hole on this. There we go. There we go. So now we've pulled that out. Now the flyback is completely detached from the chassis. And I'm going to just take, now that I've done that, I'm just going to clean up this pot here. Suck the solder out. And, okay, bring you guys in, I'll show you this by hand. Alright. So now you see I've clean that up nicely so that I can easily attach the new wire on there. And here's the old flyback. Let's take a look at it. You see right there that big line right there? That's where it went bad. That's where it burned out. Yeah, so this is the bad one here. And you'll see here's the wire. We want to save this little boot here on the end too. So there's that little boot. We'll put this on the new wire on the flyback. And here's the new flyback here. So I'm going to do this right now before I forget to do it. I'm just going to put the little boot on here and just slide it all the way down for now so I don't forget it. Okay, so there we go. There's the new flyback. I'm not going to put it on yet. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to clean up this area and see if there's a few caps right in that vicinity that I'm going to actually replace first before I put the new flyback in there. And it's kind of hard. Man, I wish I had a better camera for this, but I don't. Yeah, so right here there's a cap there. And there's a cap here and a cap here. I want to change out first before I put in the new Flyback. The great thing about this G07 chassis is there's so few caps on it. Doing the cap kit's going to be real quick versus like doing on a K7400, which there's 48 caps. This let's see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. That's including the mod to use it with newer games. So really, there's very few caps to do on this. It's going to be a simple job. Okay, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to do a little more work here. Okay, guys. So I just went and put everything in. Yeah, so I've recapped the monitor. I've got the new Flyback in here. Here's a new width coil that's in there. And one thing to note is when you want to adjust a width coil, you can't use an Allen wrench in here, even though it's got an Allen size. Let me see, get this camera right here. If you look in there, the hole looks like an Allen hole. But if you go to Bob Roberts' website, he'll explain why. If you put an Allen wrench in there, it'll get really hot, but also you can zap yourself, apparently. So this is a special tool. It's a TV alignment tool, and this is used to adjust the horizontal width coil in this. Right now, I haven't really done any adjustments to it. It's just in there. I will adjust it afterwards. Hopefully, it won't require much adjustment. Some of the other things, so all these caps are replaced, and what else did I do? I did not replace the fuses. Those tested good. The regulator and the transistor were a pain to do, and hopefully I didn't screw up, because I'm a little concerned that I might have forgot which way it was going in there, but I think I got it all in correctly. Additionally, doing the Flyback here, these solder points here were kind of difficult, but this pad here lifted up a little bit. It was already lifted. Remember, I was talking about it in the video before. So I put a little jumper in here just to make sure that we've got good connection there on that one. I don't want that to short out. So now I'm going to put this back into the monitor. I've got the monitor out right now here. There's the Galaxian over there. And I'm going to hook it back up, and we'll see if it works. Okay, guys, welcome back. And as you can see, the monitor's working again. So, yeah, just replacing that. I mean, I did everything else in this, but I believe the Flyback was the problem on this. And so now I've got a nice working G07 monitor in my Galaxian. I adjusted the colors to make it look as good as possible. Of course, this camera doesn't really show the colors very well. They always look oversaturated. But yeah, just need to put everything back together again. I'm playing through the screen. Couldn't even see the shots. But yeah, so it's all fixed and looking good. So yeah, come around this side here. You can see I don't have it all bolted in yet, but yeah, but it's got it working now, which is great. Thanks for watching, guys. I got a lot more monitors to work on, and this one was a nice, easy one. Although as easy as they say it is, it still took a while. I mean, this was probably, I don't know, three hours total to do. But yeah, so there we go. Working G07 monitor back in my Galaxian, which is great. And I'm back to where I was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, still got a lot of projects left to do though. But yeah, it feels good to get something fixed.